Hey yo, what's good with it, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Wilson. And you are now tuned in to Wilson Block 100 Radio. And today, we got a star on the block. You know what I'm saying? Ernest.
What's good? What's good?
Yes, sir. What's good, man? Honored to have you here with us for this exclusive interview with the Wilson Block. How you been?
I've been great. I'm definitely blessed now. I'm more than honored to be doing this interview.
No doubt, man. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time, you know what I'm saying, for this. And, for the record, you know what I'm saying, we bumped into each other in Capitol Hill, you know what I'm saying, and, just sparked a little conversation, and, you know what I'm saying, you gave me some bars, okay, you know what I mean, and then, it wasn't long before I was like, man, we got to bring you on the block, you know what I mean?
Of course.
So here you are. So real quick for our audience, man, go ahead and give us a quick background on yourself.
First and foremost, I'm from New York, Long Island. I was born in New York. I was raised in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Let's go.
I actually was brought into the foster care system.
Okay. I've been there.
Excuse me. My mother and father, gave me up at the age of 3, went through foster care.
Yeah.
But through those different trials and tribulations, as far as being in foster care, group homes, and things of that nature,
Right.
through it all, instead of building excuses, it gave me strength to keep fighting on to, continue to pursue more.
Right.
And this is what brought me, basically here today.
No doubt. So let's talk more about your artistry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What led you to become an artist? When did you first know that, you was talented in a certain area?
Well, first and foremost, my upbringing was definitely dark and painful.
No doubt.
So I was one of those kids that, if you're a kid, you're meant to be seen and not heard.
Right.
So there was never really a way to fully express,
Right.
what I went through, no one to talk to.
Right. There's a lot of pent up.
Right. But in high school, my sophomore year, that's when I was introduced to this poetry class by Miss Jameson. She actually changed my life because poetry gave me the avenue to fully express myself in ways that I wanted to where nobody else wouldn't hear.
Right.
And so when I composed my first piece, from there I knew, okay, I got a voice. And she told me, she said, oh, you're remarkable, you have a talent. This is your avenue. And so from there on.
No doubt. All right, so and you've been pursuing it?
Well, on my own, I continuously write. With my poetry, I'm more of like an inspirational. When I come across different people and I feel different vibes, if a person is down or need a little pick me up, then I begin to share who I am and I share a poem that will lift their spirits.
Right.
But I always had the ambition for the world to further hear me. But I've been doing my own groundwork.
Right, no doubt. So who would you say are like some poets that you've looked up to? You know what I'm saying? Who are some real poets to you?
The good brother Langston Hughes.
Okay, no doubt.
One of my favorite poems is I Found Rivers. The sister Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
As far as an American great European poet, my favorite is Walt Whitman. He has this book of poems called The Leaves of Grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And so, have you, what are some names, what are the names of some poems that you've written? May not have been published, but I know you got some works.
I've written a poem called There Is More to Me.
Okay.
Which is a poem that I wrote to give you a little bit of a backdrop. I've done from 2002 to 2013. I've done 11 years in the prison system.
Okay.
And in the state of Vermont, but outcased to other states.
Right.
And I maxed out June 6, 2013. On June 5th, 2013, I felt like I had to tell the world that there is more to me. I'm more than that person that you see that's on this criminal, on this sheet for this felony.
Right.
I'm more than that individual that you perceive that is dysfunctional, that is violent.
Right.
And so that's one of the poems I wrote. And as I expressed earlier in the interview, most of my life and my upbringing basically was about, a lot of darkness and a lot of pain. But yet and still, when I wrote, I never wrote any dark poetry. I always wrote poetry that was something that I could strive for.
Yeah.
And this is where you get poems like The Essence of Beauty, that I wrote.
No doubt.
And then at the same time, I wrote poetry dealing with how I would feel if I came across that right person, that right female in my life.
Right.
If I proposed to her, so I also wrote a poem, Baby, Will You Meet Me at the Altar? The
right,
characteristics of the woman that I want to ask to meet me at the altar.
Right.
So, yeah.
No doubt. Hey, if you want to share one with us, that'd be awesome.
Okay, actually, being that I just mentioned that last one,
Yeah.
it's called Baby, Will You Meet Me at the Altar?
Okay.
Baby, will you meet me at the altar? I will not falter or fumble in my words. My unconditional love, total attention and affection is what you deserve. My love, your love, becomes our love that's united as one, shining through the shadows of darkness to manifest our light that is as bright as the sun. Say it is so, me and you walking through the door. We are gathered together forever in holy matrimony, our souls united once more. Our hearts beat in unison to the melodies of sacred love. Let's bless this marriage with the name of Jesus Christ and our merciful God above.
Ooh, hey, man, that was powerful, man. What? Man, y'all sisters better holler. You know what I mean? Real talk, man, because, you know what I'm saying, good men, you know what I'm saying, just like they say, good women, good men are hard to find too.
So true,
so true. And, I just know, I'm one myself, if you ask me.
Right.
But, that's a conversation for another time, you know what I mean? But, I do want to ask, pertaining to your youth, you know what I mean? You said that your youth, you know what I'm saying, was a little dark, you know what I mean? Me, myself, I've had a way of being able to channel negative energy and try to, try to create a positive outcome. You know what I mean? How have you managed to, channel, the negative and dark moments in your life to, move forward and pretty much pick yourself up?
Basically, even if I didn't know how to describe it in the words that I do today, with the fact of, my piece that there is more to me.
Yeah.
During those times when I was younger, I always knew that I was destined for something greater. That I'm going through this struggle for a reason. Like, I'm an Aries. I was born on March 21st, 1976. I was born on a cusp, so I'm an Aries and Pisces. So I analyze everything, right? And so I thought about struggle. I'm like, I'm going through all of this as a kid. All these other kids enjoying these many different things in life that I may not partake in. So what can I use to help push me forward? And then I realized, you know what? Even though my mother and father may have been irresponsible as parents, but when my father, pumped those millions of sperm cells in my mom's, it was millions of sperm cells that was fighting, elbowing, kicking, you know what I'm saying? Putting in chokeholds to get fertilized. And each one of us, we made it through. So that goes to show me that from the beginning, it was struggle is meant for growth.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I knew there was going to come a point where I'm going to grow and everything is going to come to fruition. Like, a seed is planted in darkness, in the dirt. Eventually, it must break the surface and come to the light.
Exactly, man. We are fueled by adversity.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, when I became aware of that, I actually used it as a strategy. I adopted it as a strategy. And humility. You know what I'm saying? Like, humility is my strategy. You know what I mean? That is the way to, and, I try to, lead by example by being that. But, you know what I'm saying? I definitely hear what you're saying. You know what I mean? I also want to talk about, I want to mention, rehabilitation. You know what I'm saying? Now, after doing 11 straight, okay, let's show some reverence, okay? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, 11 years, 11 years.
Yes.
Can't get it back. You do 10 years, you'd be like, man, I was ready to get out in 9. You got to do one more, you know what I mean? And, I've had my time as a juvenile, you know what I'm saying, where I've, done seen everything but the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, something that's ironic? When I came to this full realization, this was a shocker, and it's going to be a shocker to you and to the rest of the audience. June 6, 2013 is the first time in my life I actually been completely free. Let me explain.
Okay.
When my mother gave birth to me, she was in a detention center herself, so my mother gave birth to me while she was in jail. So I was born into the system, into foster care, went to group homes, been in the prison system all this time up until 2013, June 6th. That's the time that I feel that me as a person have actually been birthed completely free. Because my whole life I've been under some system. Right. Now I'm completely free.
Now, what led you to gain that understanding?
It's my core, who I am. I analyze. I ask questions. I need to know my spiritual connection. I need to know, and I feel like I have to progress. That's just who I am. I'm a fighter. I don't like to use the word survivor because a survivor just gets over what comes at them. I'm more than a survivor.
Right.
So
Thriver.
I'm
You know
a thriver.
There you go. We strivers, survivors, thrivers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yeah. So and we are, man. You know what I'm saying? I really like to use a lot of the things that life throws at us. You know what I'm saying? As challenges to overcome. You know what I'm saying? Not so much like they're prohibiting. You know what I'm saying? And because of this, I can't do this now. I'm gonna find a way. You know what I mean?
Course.
And I don't want to make this too much about me. You know what I'm saying? But what would you say? You know what I'm saying? Your lifetime mission. You know what I'm saying is in the arts.
In the arts, okay. Through my words, through my speech, whether it's in the form of poetry, whether it's in the form of speaking, being an inspirational speaker, or whether it's in the form of music, I have come to realize that my words, my story, my vision can and is a healing not only to self but to others as well.
Absolutely.
Because most people get healed when they feel when you cause that connection. Just like when I'm speaking to you right now, and at the same time the audience is hearing us. Yeah. You know that vibration that you feel.
It's like you're there. You can feel
it. That connectedness. Yeah. And that's that right there. That energy is a healing. Yeah. So absolutely. My mission is through my craft, through my being who I am, is to help others. Because I look at how my life started, and I said, why me? Why am I going through all of this? I understand now. Yeah. So I can be in a situation where I can help others transition. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When, just like when I was younger, and I wish there was ears that heard me and people that looked at me. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to be able to provide that, for others. Exactly.
No doubt. Simple. I admire that, man. I really do, man. And to be honest, man, I really admire when I see, my elders, you know what I'm saying, that still understand the significance and value and being an example. You know what I'm saying? And still striving for themselves. Right. You know what I mean? And, having said that, I wanted to ask you how you feel about the term positive role model.
Positive role model?
Would you say you're one? Would you not? Why or why not?
There's, in layman's terms, just like a lot of rappers say, there's many levels to this. Yeah. I get it. There's many levels. On one aspect, looking at the term from just what it is, a positive role model, I use it to be synonymous as with being an inspiration to others. Yeah. I would love to always be an inspiration to others. So if, in that sense, being a positive role model, yes, of course, that's my mission. I love to inspire others. This is my life's calling. Right. But as far as the other level of it, when you're considered a positive role model, people begin to put you to a certain pedestal as if you are, or you should be incapable of error. Right. Which, therefore, then here comes the persecution. Right. Now, if I have to be looked at, put in that format, then no, I don't want that, because I'm human, I'm still growing, I'm going to make mistakes. Right. But I will always be an inspiration. So in that aspect, yes, I'll be a positive role model to those who are younger, my age, just as well as I receive inspiration from others.
Yeah, spread that inspiration around, you know what I mean? Because I personally embrace the idea of it, and knowing I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be quick to fall on that. But to really walk like that, to really walk with that comes the humility. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to know when you've been beat, and sometimes you got to know when to pick and choose battles, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you just got to know when to not even say anything. Right. You know what I mean? And that's definitely been a challenge for a young nigga like me. But, what would have been, some challenges, some, aside from going to jail, but, really just, trying to, just really through the art, through the poetry, what have been like the challenges you faced, on your journey, thus far?
Okay. One of my main challenges is, for one, I'm very well spoken, right? Mm-hmm. To some, they may say I'm very eloquent in speech, right? Mm-hmm. Which is true, and that is by choice. I'm very self-educated. At the same time, I'm educated school-wise. Yeah. And growing up where I grew up from, like if an individual just looked at me and just heard me speak, mm-hmm. they could not see my past. They'd be like, "There's no way you was this person who been through what you've been through. You're supposed to be messed up mentally. You're supposed to be
not know how to speak, speech impediments.
Right, exactly." And so the challenge is, even though I'm always sincere, because I say what I mean and mean what I say at all times. That's my number one principle. For sure. Right? So the challenge is where people will be like, you're too well spoken, so you must be up to something. You may be conning me, because so many people have been conned and deceived in their lives by what they call soothsayers, those who have eloquent speech. Right. When an individual like myself, who is sincere, is just that, and I'm a poet and I'm a philosopher, so my speech is beautiful. Right.
I mean, when people feel like that, they really got to, start to look within.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, when I go into a grocery store and security is looking at me like I'm about to steal something. Mm-hmm. Me knowing I came in here to buy something, it's kind of like
disheartening.
Exactly. And so, you know what I'm saying? You'd call that, a challenge.
Of course, that's a major challenge. But it's a challenge that I willingly accept. Okay. Because this is, there's an old expression. If a warrior does not have an opponent and enemy, mm-hmm. then he's ill-equipped, because you need something to always challenge you to propel you forward.
Exactly.
So and it's a healthy challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember there was I was in this foster home back in 2000, and the foster mom's, her mother, which would be a grandmother to us. I remember, she was telling me about math, and I was like, I don't like math because it's too hard. And she was like, well, if everything was easy, you wouldn't learn that.
That's right.
And I mean, it's simple as that. Right. You know what I mean? And I still remember that.
Simple truths are profound.
Exactly. A lot of people, they're like, man, people tell me that all the time. Well, if you keep hearing it,
then why you're not adhering to
it? Right.
You hear the same word, hearing it. If you keep hearing it, why you're not adhering to it?
Thanks. Let's go. Come on, we got quotables, man. We got gems for y'all, man.
Right. That's right.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show, you know what I'm saying? Just giving us time to, really just bless us with, your perspective and your life.
I really appreciate
it. What have been some more of the rewarding things?
The rewarding things is, with my craft, with being able to speak to people and more than anything, being empathetic, being able to feel their vibes and feel what's going on. Yeah. Because it takes a person who went through pain and who went through loss to be able to identify that same pain and loss within others. Absolutely. So, with my poetry and my speech, just to see the transition from a spirit that is down to, you see the joy, that total transformation. It's like, it's crazy. You literally see a total transformation. Yeah. That is so beautiful and so remarkable. Yeah. And they walk away with their head up and their week can start. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's so powerful. That's really what it's all about. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about, man. And then, a lot of what we do as a publication is not for what we get paid. Right. Trust and believe. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? But it gives us a good deal of satisfaction.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Knowing that we're not only making a difference, but we're filling a void. You know what I mean? Right. And, helping people develop a sense of purpose.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because, that hope and that inspiration, you know what I'm saying? Like me, like when you say inspiration, I need inspiration. Right. I feed off of inspiration. Inspiration fuels all of this, because without the inspiration, there's just no hope.
Right, exactly.
And, that's what it comes down to, like when I write rhymes and things like that. Got to be moved off of something. Like you said, like when you write, like you hear the beat and you kind of form around that, right?
Right, exactly.
Now, have you you got any songs that you recorded the music?
Actually, I have My old SoundCloud account was hacked into, but you can still Google Ernest Dawson, Ernest Dawson, Dawson, SoundCloud, and I have a song on there called Gunshots.
Okay.
I have also my spoken word piece called There Is More to Me, and one of my poems, The Essence of Beauty, on there as well.
Okay, no doubt. Yeah, make sure y'all check that out, and man, we gotta recover that account, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. But we definitely gonna check that out and go forward. Okay, what would you say your overall message is to the world?
My overall message to the world is, one, never give up. Always fight. You are more than your circumstance. Never settle for defeat. Accept and understand the strength that is within you. And last but not least, let's continue to go out and conquer for good purposes.
Amen. Straight up. All right, look, man, we're going to cut out and we're going to ask you to drop some shout-outs. But first, we just want to ask if you got another little freestyle for us, you know what I mean? Because, listen, man, if you got it, I'm sure the people want to hear it, you know what I mean?
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something that's dear to the heart and a piece that I never shared with the world.
Okay, exclusive.
Now, remember, as I told y'all in the story, my mother is addicted to crack cocaine, and she gave me up at the age of 3. So, in essence, I never met my mother. And so during the when I done the 11 years, that wasn't my first time of incarceration. I was incarcerated as a teenager for like 3 years. But during that time, that's when they had the Montel Williams show. And part of the Montel Williams show, what he would do is at the end of the show, he would offer, try to get families together and try to, provide drug rehab for, whoever was in the family. So while I'm incarcerated, I wrote the Montel Williams show. I said, listen, this is my situation. My mother gave me up at the age of 3. I know she lives in Long Island, New York, but I want to find her, I want to help her, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I wrote a song. Needless to say, I never got a response back from the Montel Williams show, but I wrote this amazing song called My Black Queen.
Okay.
Once again, the name of the song is called My Black Queen, and it's dedicated to my moms. It goes, my black queen, Mom, this is dedicated to you. My black queen, and all the things I know you really wanted to do. I love you, despite all the things we've been through. I love you, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. My black queen, Mom, this is dedicated to you. My black queen, and all the things I know you really wanted to do. I love you, despite all the things we've been through. I love you, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. On March 21st in 1976, you was happy to release your precious little gift. You held me in your arms and hugged me to keep me warm. You showed me affection beyond bounds like the windows to the storm. You caressed me with kisses that always kept me calm. You always had the best wishes for me to grow up and be strong. My black queen, Mom, this is dedicated to you. My black queen, and all the things I knew you really wanted to do. I love you, despite all the things we've been through. I love you, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I know you felt the pain when you had to let me go to the custody of another person that you didn't know. Life is too short for me to hold the rage. I forgive you and I love you even to this day. I know if you had the chance, you want to do it all over again. You want to be in my life to the very end. I know drugs have messed up your life, but you could change the pace. I want my mom in my life because no one could take your place. My black queen, Mom, this is dedicated to you. My black queen, and all the things I know you really wanted to do. I love you, despite all the things we've been through. I love you, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Now that I'm a grown man, I begin to see straight. I miss motherly love in my life, and I'm here ready to make amends. I want to be the closest of friends. You be my mother again. I'll be your son here willing to start at the beginning that has no end. Now that the grief is gone, we both can move on. Continue to do right, so place all the wrongs. I know it may seem to be hard at first, but if we put our trust in God, we see that this can work. I want to be together forever, just like if it was a team. I bring forth this to you because you are my black queen. My black queen. Mom, this is dedicated to you. My black queen. And all the things I know you really wanted to do. I love you, despite all the things we've been through. I love you, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Yo, Ernest, man, that was very hot. Okay, man, we got to really get that recorded, like, straight up. You know what I mean? Like, that's a song that needs to be heard. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to thank you for bringing that to us. You know what I'm saying? Exclusively. You said it's never been heard before. No. You know what I mean? So now that it is, man, you know what I'm saying? We got to, try to, see it happen. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for coming through, you know what I'm saying, for this exclusive interview with the Wilson Block. And if you got any shout-outs, man, let's hear it.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to give a shout-out to the Wilson Block magazine for this great opportunity.
Thank you.
Also, would like to give a shout-out to the Compass Center because, they provide the opportunity that I have a place that I can, call my own to build my foundation to move forward and get my own,
No doubt. I use them too, so let's throw that in there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, I ain't hating.
Right, and also I'd like to give a shout out to, the Bailey Boucher House because they help a lot of people, whether they have issues that are dealing with psychologically or different health issues, and they provide a space for the homeless and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to all those who continue to push the effort of making a positive change and bringing about, real unification.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There it is there, man. Ernest Starr, okay? You know what I'm saying? Exclusively on Wilson Block 100 Radio, son, with your boy, Mr. Wilson. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And, we, live at Cypher Cafe, okay? The grand opening is going down November 23rd, you know what I'm saying? That's Black Friday, you know what I'm saying? 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Washington Hall. 14th and 3rd, you know what it is, Central District, okay? It's DJ Vitamin D, Sisters Rock the Arts, Specs Wizard, and more. And it's going to be a whole lot of community vendors, you know what I'm saying? Support black business, local business. And that's what it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Wilson, and we out.
Peace.